Like many towns, Walwalling came into existence with the construction of the Great Southern Railway. Walwalling was the gazetted name in 1905 and renamed as Highbury in 1906. Immediately before the World War II, 1937-38, the main road between Narrogin and Wagin was built up as a main road. This supplied work for a large number of men at a time when jobs were scarce. It was around the 1950s before it was sealed. It was recorded in February of 1955 that 275 millimetres of rain fell over a few days, resulting in a lot of damage to the countryside. Roads and bridges were washed away, fences torn apart and pastures ruined. In April 1978, Cyclone Alby hit the area, causing great havoc. The town today is little more than a stop on the highway with a store, tavern and a hall, servicing the surrounding agricultural district. Leaving Highbury, heading for Peaceville. Peaceville had an interesting time in its early days as it struggled to find an identity. Settled from the 1850s, the first sighting when the railway arrived was called Buchanan River, and the town of Buchanan was gazetted in 1903. Because of a name clash with a town in New South Wales, it was renamed Barton after the former Prime Minister in 1905. However, with the construction of the Trans-Australian Railway, another railway station named after Barton in the South Australian stretch of the Nullarbor Plain led to another name change in 1918, this time to Peace, after two prominent local residents. 5 years later, the town was changed to its present name, its fourth change in 20 years. Peaceville today is more of an agricultural locality. That's the Peaceville Hall, built in 1904 and well hidden in the bush. And then back onto the main road. So having had a look at the Peaceville Hall, as well as the old tavern, we're back on the road again. This time heading for Wagin. This is Wagin. There's a servo on the corner. The cemetery is just opposite the corner. And you turn left to go into town. Right takes you to the Albany Highway. The home of the Big Ram, Wagin's main industries are wheat and sheep farming. The name of the town is derived from Wagin Lake, a usually dry salt lake south of the town. The Aboriginal name is Wagin, having been first recorded for the lake by a surveyor in 1869. It is believed that Wagin means emu's watering hole. The first European explorer through the area was John Septimus Roe in 1835. Between 1835 and 1889, a few settlers eked a simple living by cutting sandalwood and shepherding small flocks of sheep. The town itself came into existence after the construction of the Great Southern Railway, which was completed in 1889, with the town originally called Wagin Lake. In 1898, Wagin was proclaimed a town with the word lake dropped. In 1934, the town was extensively flooded after the area experienced 137 millimetres of rain in a short period of time, the heaviest for 20 years. Water over a foot deep flowed through the town hall and along business premises and dwellings along Tudor Street. The railway yards were flooded and the railway dam burst under water pressure. Present-day Wagin is one of the largest towns in the southern wheatbelt region and annually hosts the Woolarama, one of Western Australia's largest agricultural shows. The event, held in March, regularly attracts over 30,000 visitors. Inside the grounds of the Wagin Agricultural Society is an RV free parking area and the usual restrictions. Only this one's a 72-hour. You can actually stay here for 3 nights. Fully self-contained recreation vehicles and caravans. That was Wagin. We're approaching Parkyering Lake. Normally this is little more than a salt pan with maybe a bit of water in it. We've had an exceptionally wet winter and an early opening in January, February. The lake is full of water. There hasn't been this much water in this lake for years and years and years. This is right beside the road. It's normally just a salt pan. We have been fortunate to film this in a winter where we've had plenty of rain and everything is nice and green and lush. I have to say, in the summertime or in the hotter months, it's very much a browner than what you're seeing now. It's still beautiful country. Caravan park right on the corner. This is the approaches to Woodanilling. Woodanilling is in a sheep and grain producing area. It was named after a spring in the Boyarine Creek, 1 kilometre south of town. The area was first explored by Europeans in 1830-31 in expeditions by Captain Thomas Bannister. Construction of the Albany Highway in the early 1850s and the Great Southern Hwy in 1889 brought settlers to the area and helped to establish the town, which was gazetted in 1892. The town site is located on an old railway siding that was initially known as Round Pool. In 1895 this was renamed to Yarrabin and finally changed to Woodanilling in 1896. The name Woodanilling is Aboriginal in origin and means either lots of minnows or place where the bronze-winged pigeon nests. An agricultural hall and public school existed in the town prior to 1903. In 1906 the Woodanilling Road Board was formed and the population of the Shire swelled to 800 during its most prosperous period from 1905 to 1920. The foundation stone of the local Baptist church was laid in 1908. The Western Australian Bank branch and new hotel were erected in the town in 1908, along with many improvements being made to the school. The local school was destroyed by a fire in June 1949. The school had 64 students enrolled at the time. By November, the Minister of Education decided that a new primary school would be built, but older students would travel to Katanning for their classes. The dump point is around the Sport and Recreation Centre. And there's also an RV rest area here as well. Maximum 24 hours, no camping. And as with all of these 24-hour rest areas, fully self-contained vehicles, bring your own water. And there's your dump point right there. Now for the next 9 kilometres, it's dead straight road and we're travelling due south, 180 degrees. Coming up to a bend in the road, and on this bend, on the western side of the road, or the right hand side travelling south, there's a little church that you might like to just stop and have a look at. The Maracunda Baptist Church is built of local stone with locally made brick corners and has a steep pitched corrugated iron gable roof. The interior features wide jarrah tongue and groove flooring and a raised altar. Sadly, the condition of the building makes it unsafe for the public to enjoy its features. The foundation stone was laid by Mrs. Metters, the wife of the Reverend Alfred Metters, who was based at Katanning on the 3rd of June 1903. The Marikunda name comes from the Marikunda pools in the nearby Carrolup River. If you enjoyed this video, there's over 200 more just like it on this channel. Subscribe and hit the notification bell and we'll let you know when our next video is available. Thanks for watching.